What's up, y'all? My name is Barbara Atewe. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are making apple pie cookies. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let's get started. Alright, so to begin, we are going to dice up all of our apples. All the exact ingredients and exact measurements will be listed down below in the description box, so be sure to check that out. So the apples I'm using today are Chinese Fuji apples. These are my favorite kind of apples. They're the best kind because they're sweet. They're not too sweet, but they're also firm. I don't know about y'all, but for me, when I'm eating like anything regarding like apple pie, my apples need to be firm. I hate soft apples in an apple pie. This is why I don't eat any store-bought apples. I don't eat other people's apple pies. I don't like it. It don't taste good to me. So I like to use again, Chinese Fuji apples. If there happens to be no Chinese Fuji available, I will go into and use the either a Honeycrisp or an Ambrosia, or if I want like a little bit of kick, you know, a little bit of tartness, I will use Granny Smith, but my apples have to be firm. So I'm gonna tell y'all a little trick towards throughout the later on in the video about how you can keep your apples firm while it's baking in the oven. So next we're going to dump all of our apples into the bowl and prepare to add our spices and other baking ingredients. So now we're going to add some flour and some cornstarch, and we're also going to add our brown sugar and white sugar and cinnamon. And then I wanted to add some nutmeg, but for some reason I cannot find it. I don't know. I did some rearranging in my kitchen cupboards and stuff, in like my spice cabinet, and for some reason I cannot find my nutmeg whatsoever. So, but anyways, we're gonna mix up all those apples together. The cornstarch is gonna allow it to not be the mixture. It's gonna prevent the mixture from being too runny, and then we're gonna use the flour to make everything congeal together with the cornstarch. We're not adding any extra liquids to this because I don't want this to be runny whatsoever. I would typically add water when I'm making like a normal apple pie, but in this case I'm not. So now we are moving on to the stove. So I have my frying pan here. I'm grabbing my butter and I'm going to spread it throughout the entire pan. This is going to create like kind of like a roux when you add your coated apples to the butter, because we want to cook out that flour taste before you put it into the oven, because it's not going to taste good if you don't. And this will allow everything to begin to like stick together so it's not runny when you put it into the oven. Okay, so now we're gonna mix everything together. I have my stove at medium high, so between 6 and 7, I just keep it there. You will see my hand like a shadow above the apples throughout this entire clip. Switching it, I do raise it to 8 for a little while just so it can like cook a bit faster. So because I don't want it on the stove for too long, or else my apples will soften, and again, I hate soft apples, so this will allow me to cook the raw flour taste out quickly without the apples softening. Alright, so now I'm going to lay out a sheet of parchment paper, and we're going to unroll our pie crust and I'm going to spread out the apples on the pie crust on one side of the pie crust. I don't know why I am struggling to talk, but what you want to do is do not throw out the pan. Okay, you just want to add like 2 tablespoons of water and just let it sit on the the remnants of what's left in the pan, you want to keep it. Do not throw it out because you're going to need it later. But anyways, we're going to spread out the apples to make sure that it's all in a single even layer. There's no apples on top of each other, and we just want to make sure it's spread out evenly. Then we're going to unroll the other pie crust and make sure that it's aligned with the one at the bottom. And then we're going to do like a tuck and roll kind of motion just to make sure that everything is sealed. And as you can see, I'm going around the entire pie crust, just pinching it, making sure that everything is sealed so it doesn't leak out while it's baking in the oven. Next, you're gonna grab any like circular thing, cup. You can use a biscuit cutter. The biscuit cutter I had was too small, and I didn't want my cookies to be too small, so I just grabbed a regular glass cup. And then I'm just going to use it to shape out my cookies. The dough that's left behind, you don't want to throw that out because as you can see, there's still some apples left. So we peel it and we put it to the side. Honestly, all I did was just mound it up all together and then slide it into the oven. So it was like kind of like, I don't know, like an apple pie mound, if that's what you want to call it. But girl, anyways, now I am taking a fork and we're just pinching it around the side so that the apples don't leak out. And then I'm going to do the X formation on the top, like a little pie or whatever. On two of them, I did do like the little 6 dots in the middle. So I'm just going to continue pinching the sides of the perimeter of each cookie, and then we are going to move on and put it in the oven. So now we are loading the cookies onto the lined baking sheet with some parchment paper. Again, as I mentioned before, you did not want to throw out the little remnants of the, how do I want to explain it? Like the apple roux thing, like it has like the brown sugar, it has like all of the things that were coating the apples mixed with the butter. You added your 2 tablespoons of water to it and you just let it sit. So now we're going to we're going to take a pastry brush and spread it over top. That's how I get like the crispiness of the pie dough over top. I do this to like my regular apple pies. I do this to my apple pie cookies. I do it to like my apple crumble. So good, so that there's like flavor throughout the entire cookie. So I popped it into the oven at 425 degrees for about 15 to 18 minutes, just so that the crust will cook thoroughly at a high temperature, but my apples aren't softening in the middle. You know what I mean? So here we are, we're plating our apple pie cookies. They look amazing, but they taste even better. You guys can see like the little crisp of the apple sugar butter roux, whatever you want to call it. I served it with some Madagascar bourbon vanilla ice cream. I don't know if anyone is like me, but I don't like ice cream directly on my apple pie. It's disgusting to me. I don't like it touching. So I don't know if y'all are like me, but this is the final look. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please just like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.